what is it going to take sports to a different level in Africa, outside of South Africa?
To look at sports as a business.
We don't expect government to be the ones profiling the game. We expect sponsors and partners to come in and see the value and then help propagate it.
So it's not just about investing in the events and the athletes. It's also about the products that they're using, and then how then do you correlate the two so that you then create this product where it becomes a part of your day-to-day.
Why is it we don't see female sports as being of value?
Athletes are all brands in their own right.
Yes.
How do we package them? I think there's a big gap in that space.
Why are we not getting the impact in this market, on this continent, that we can, given that when you look at a lot of the talent that goes externally in a lot of sport comes from Africa? Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Brandist. My name is Patricia Ithao and I'm the CEO for WPP Scan Group. And Brandist is our platform where we are going to have conversations, share ideas and thoughts that will shape our industry, shape our society, and hopefully change our world, being Africa and beyond. So we have had a number of conversations so far, but today we want to move to a different space. We want to talk about something that touches a lot of people and that involves a lot of people, and that is sports. And talking about sports, really trying to see how do we level the playing field in sports? How do we find ways to allow sports to create more opportunities, have more of an impact on our communities, our society, our youth, and of course, our marketing initiatives on the continent. So joining us today and joining me today, I have two gentlemen. I have on my right here, Mike, and I have Jimmy, and I'll ask each of them to say a little bit about themselves and why they feel they can speak to the sports.
Hi, Patricia. Thank you for hosting me this morning for this amazing conversation. My name is Mike Rabah, currently the CEO of the AFCON Chan Championship that we held in Kenya in 2027. And also, privately, I run a company called Homeboys Entertainment, a very big player in the sports entertainment sector. Thank you.
Thanks, Patricia, for having me. I think for me, very excited to be here. My passion for sports over the years, being the current team manager of the national 15s team, makes such discussions worthwhile. I think, sorry to say this, Patricia, but if sports was where it is world over in Africa, I'll probably not be supporting you in my day job as general counsel at Scan Group. Thank you.
And you say national team manager for 15s in which sport?
In rugby.
In rugby. Fantastic, because there are people out there like 15. There are some people, which game has 15 people in it? Okay, so I think let's start the conversation. I always say that when we look at Africa, if there's one sport that I think captures the world, it is, I guess, athletics. Because when you look at the big things, the Olympics, all those kind of things, well, at least for us Kenyans who are going to show up, and the Ethiopians. But there's so many other sports. I mean, one of the biggest sports we all know in the world is football, right? And football is huge. Look at the English Premier League and what it has done. And then, of course, when we talk about rugby and the opportunities at rugby in terms of showcasing and how we have grown in this market. So I just want to ask a question. I'm going to ask you, Mike. Here you are. We're talking about Chan, and then we're talking about AFCON. Why don't you tell us a little bit about those two sports and what is their scale, what is the size of them, and what is the meaning of them when it comes to positioning Africa globally?
Okay, thank you for that question, Patricia. So we've got two huge soccer tournaments running between now and 2027. So Chan, it really is a smaller version of AFCON. And what Chan does really is, it's been purposed to expose the new talent coming through the pipeline. So the teams participating in Chan will not host any foreign-based players. All they do is host local players who have not gone beyond borders to participate in sports globally.
So how do they choose the teams then? How does it work?
So really, it's a national team, but you only pick local players. You can't bring in players from outside
Okay.
who are experienced come and be part of this institution.
And does every country have a chance to play?
Oh yes, I
Yeah.
mean there's a league where they will actually pre-qualifiers, then they now pick the top 24 teams that will
Okay.
take part in the competition.
Okay.
On the other hand, AFCON really is national teams that can pick players from wherever. Those that play in Europe, in Asia, in America, those cannot take part in AFCON. And again, it's a different level of competition because these are very well profiled and experienced players. But what we've seen with Chan actually for us is probably more impactful because it draws in the biggest number of scouts coming into the countries from
Yes.
all over the world to look for the new
Talent.
talent is coming
Yeah.
through the pipelines.
Yes.
So that's the importance of Chan for the Confederation of African Football.
Yes.
It really sets up a platform where new talent can be seen, exposed, and get signed up to bigger platforms.
Mike, you're saying Chan. I have not heard about Chan. I did not know it exists, and here you are talking about it. I'm pretty sure there are many people out there who've also not. Oh, how come we have not? What is it that we need to do differently?
And I think that goes to actually bring out a larger question around African football per se, and not even just African football, also football positioning in Kenya, for instance.
Yeah.
So the reason why you probably haven't heard about Chan is because one, as a nation, Harambee Stars has hardly ever qualified to participate in that event in the first place. So because we're not very visible around that space, that spot, at that level, then there's a general lack of interest from.
But
the
is it
locals.
visible in the rest of the world?
Oh man,
I
I
mean,
tell
rest
you,
of
yeah,
Africa.
and Africa
Yeah.
loves Chan. They
Yes.
know what it means. The players fight to get onto those platforms to showcase themselves. So
Yes.
it's a very big deal for teams to participate
Yes.
and qualify. The reason, again, why I keep saying that we have a lot of work to do locally as Kenya is we need to try and rethink on how we market the football and then how, again, we position our Harambee Stars. Because without the Harambee Stars being in those competitions, then the country doesn't really doesn't care about those kind of the platforms.
Yeah.
So it just boils down to Harambee Stars pre-qualifying annually to be in those events. That will then bring now the level of exposure to the locals. Otherwise, if you go to Tanzania, Nigeria, Egypt, it's a very big deal.
It's a big deal.
Big
And
deal.
how do they let people know about it? So again, this is a question.
Yes.
English Premier League, everybody has to be either on, one of the streaming channels, paid up channels to watch football.
Yeah.
These our Africa sports and games, our football games.
Yeah.
Why is it we're perhaps not seeing them as much, or they're not creating and getting the profile?
Yeah.
Like the English Premier League or the La Liga or one of those. What is the challenge?
I think, Patricia, again, having known your background in marketing
Yes.
boils down to that.
Yes.
How is a brand being positioned in the country?
Yeah.
There's a lot of effort, and it's all very premeditated effort to make sure that the Premier League is showcased in a purpose that creates a lot of affinity for it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of marketing money behind
Yes.
these leagues, all right? So it's very deliberate to put this in your face as much as they can. It's also quite expensive.
So you're saying it's money.
Bottom line.
It's money.
equals marketing.
But I always sit down and say, there's a lot of money. All the stories we've heard about the money that goes in football, yet we're not driving that. So where is the missing link? There must be a link. Maybe I want you to be a little bit candid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the things based around, I'd say, let me start with policy around sports.
Yes.
If I was to force your clients
Yes.
to put probably 10% of the money in marketing sports,
Yes.
then it'd be a very significant impact on how we can showcase and propel the sports.
Yes.
And again, we don't expect government to be the ones profiling the game. We expect sponsors and partners to come in and see the value and then help propagate it.
Yes.
So I think we also now really find a way to package the sport it becomes enticing to sponsors.
Yes.
They then put the dollars behind it and help profile it because they'll want to see the brands attached to something successful.
Okay, now let me ask Jimmy to chip in this conversation, and you could also talk not just to football, but the sport that you're involved in, which is rugby. And just let's help unpack this. Why are we not getting the impact in this market, on this continent, that we can? Given that when you look at a lot of the talent that goes externally in a lot of sport, comes from Africa. Yet, they're not. It's always a story. What do they say about you're not wise? What is that? There's that saying, that at home nobody knows you.
Yeah,
outside, that's where you become the star.
Celebrated, yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Patricia, for the question. I think just to add on to what Micah said, I think the biggest challenge you're having in Kenya and, of course, the rest of Africa, outside of South Africa, is just around brand positioning, around how then do we link the sports to the society, to the economy, and then bring some sort of sense to it. I think there was a report I was reading sometime last year, was it early in the year, from Nelson Sports. And Nelson does a lot of data, insights and all that. And in Europe, year on, they spend over 35, brands and advertisers spend over 35 billion pounds annually on different events and of course, trying to also then correlate with the products and services that they do sell. And I think if that was brought closer home and then brands look at not just the short-term investment, whether it's in sponsorships and so forth, but what is the long-term investment in what they're putting in. Now, let me speak a bit about rugby. And earlier during the introduction, you asked what is 15s.
Yeah.
It's interesting in Kenya, everyone knows about the Shuja.
We know Shujas.
And
yeah,
Shuja,
those we know. We know
Shuja is a masterpiece, and,
Yes,
and we're very proud of the Shuja brand as Kenyans because it actually put Kenya on the global map. And these are ambassadors all over the world. However, when you look at rugby,
Shujas being the sevens.
Yes.
For those who may not know who those Shujas are, we all know them, somehow.
Yes. So, and Shuja is what we call sevens, and that's a rugby that most Kenyans, whether it's a child or whether it's an adult growing in Kenya, they know that is rugby.
Yes.
However, come closer home to now the rugby people and all that, 15s is what is more celebrated. It's what is more lucrative.
Celebrated where?
Worldwide.
Worldwide,
yes. And we have South Africa, who are the defending champions, and they've put African rugby on the world stage.
Yeah.
And that is where there's more affinity from brands world over. That's where there's the so-called stars of the game that people in the rugby circles are aware of. And the biggest difference that South Africa has put in is that the Springbok brand is a brand that has grown over years. It's a brand where a child coming through the ranks through development wants to be associated with.
Yeah, but I know because even the T-shirts,
Exactly.
You could buy all the Springbok T-shirts and everything, merchandise and everything else, and you want the association.
Yes, and all that. And I think the biggest difference is just around what are the strategies around sports marketing?
Yeah.
How do you bring the brands together with the athletes, with the sports team? How do you then bring as well the brands closer to the people in terms of what is being offered from a service and product point of view?
But you say that, so I asked the question, you're saying Springboks, for example, Springboks, I know, yes, they raise the emotion of South Africans and everything else because they win when they're up there and everything else. But then I can turn around and say, if it's a question of when you're winning and doing well, then, you can raise the emotion and the passion of a nation to drive the patriotism.
Yeah.
And I could use an individual, right? We're great at athletes. Yeah? Kipchoge. Why are we not able to translate that athletic Kipchoge, good look, feel, 1.59, the same way Springboks can raise that in their country? What would we need to do, I guess, is what I want to, from you guys who are on the ground down, and when you see it, what would it take?
I think I'll say from where I sit, from an athletics perspective, the biggest mistake we ever made was winning constantly. It's become a norm.
When we win constantly?
People grew up knowing we win athletics. Anyway, it's how many medals did we get?
Yes.
Not whether we won or not. Is it 10 or 12?
Yes.
So when you take a lot of those things for granted, then also you find that the general discourse of trying to build or create, let's say, pride around something that's working anyway, becomes very difficult.
But doesn't it become something you own? Don't you sit down and say, okay, this is what I own? I sit down and I say, oh my goodness, imagine I could go around the world and say that athletics.
I'll tell you, we own Kipchoge, but we don't celebrate him enough. Let me put it that way.
Yes.
He's one of us.
Yes.
But he's just one of us who's doing his thing for his country.
Yes.
So I think we don't really appreciate what it takes to get to that level.
Yeah.
Because I grew up knowing that Kenya is an athletic country. We win medals every Olympics.
Yes.
It's just a question of how many.
Okay,
Alright?
but then,
So we have to now try and turn around and say, hang on a minute, to win a medal is not
it's
easy.
not easy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not easy.
And so I think that has come out a lot clearer.
Yeah.
That's such a huge achievement.
Yeah.
That we just take for granted.
But
It's
here we are then. Okay, so you're saying it's because we win that often. Let me go back to our good old Shujaz,
Yeah.
the sevens, yeah, who were fantastic, got onto the global stage, were winning and everything. So they don't win often. Yet we're not able to rally behind them. Is it because we don't have enough people understanding rugby? Is it there aren't enough people watching? I guess what I'm trying to unpack is what is it going to take sports to a different level in Africa, outside of South Africa? And I know football, we can have the conversation around football in Nigeria and North Africa and
Yeah.
everything else. But if I look at even this region, what is it going to take? What does it take to raise the profile of our sports? Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, Patricia, one of the key things that I think will change the narrative in sports is also to look at sports as a business. And let me expound further on what I mean by that. Eliud Kipchoge, the legend, he's a father. He goes to a local store in a supermarket where he comes from. He buys commodities from the stores. He probably has his local barber where he goes has a shift. So he's not just a sports person.
Yeah.
He's also a consumer
Yes.
of services and
Yes,
products. He'll
yes.
buy his airtime.
Yes.
He'll go to a shop, purchase a phone that he needs to get in touch with everyone else in the world and all that. Now, once we understand that sports is an integral part of society, and it's also one we can detach, because also these sports people and athletes are consumers. One thing that I learned and appreciated, of course, having played the rugby game and then transitioned into management, and of course now dealing with a lot of young people, is that society needs to embrace sports. And how then do you do that? Of course, there's policy at the heart of it, and also sports being looked at as an avenue of giving, whether it's alternative revenue or alternative
Livelihood,
opportunities
and
to the
livelihood.
young men
Yes. Yeah.
and women. And of course, with that is it's creating an entire ecosystem or entire infrastructure where you actually support the athletes, and
Yeah.
the athletes go back then to their homes.
Yeah.
Then they become the biggest ambassadors.
Yes.
So let me use brands as an example. If brands were to also associate with the fact that a sports person is also a consumer, they then, from a long-term strategy point of view, they start looking at the intersection of maybe these are the people who could be the biggest drivers of what we
Or
are,
the biggest ambassadors of what
our
they do.
products and
Yes,
services.
yes.
So when we start looking at sports as a business, and of course sports marketing, you're then able to link the two. So it's not just about investing in the events and the athletes. It's also about the products and services that they're using, and then how then do you correlate the two so that you then create this product where it becomes a part of your day-to-day. If you look at some of the big rugby playing nations like New Zealand, rugby is a way of life. It's inculcated from the school curriculum in terms of how they prepare. It's how the stars interact with the people and mingle, and then the contribution to society. So I think there's a policy aspect that maybe needs to be looked into, but then I think generally it's not an area where you can detach from day to day.
You keep saying day to day and society, so I'm going to throw a new spanner into this conversation. You're all talking society, yes, policy and everything else. But I'm going to throw a spanner because as I sit here, you can see there's a diversity conversation here. When people talk sports, by the way, it's men, right? Even when we look at the sports we talk about, it's all the male-dominated type sport. The female ones, somehow, the only one that ever reached any acclaim, at least in this country, when I look at other countries across Africa, actually I can't even think of any big sport where women have driven across Africa. Maybe there's some you can give me. Is there any other than volleyball?
There is, the Malkia Strikers is a good example of Shujaz and a big name
In our faith keeping
in Africa.
one.
And then
Yes.
I think our under 18s as well last
Yeah.
year,
Yes.
football team.
Qualified for the World
Because I'm sitting there looking, I mean, the US never knew soccer or football as we call it in this market. Then they're catching on now. And then I see the women team is the one that's winning the world stage in a country that didn't embrace this particular sport. So I bring it, dial back to Africa, dial back to East Africa, dial back even to Kenya. I don't know any sport other than volleyball for a period. And I know historically, my days at the brewery, we used Malta Guinness and supported the volleyball girls and everything else. Why is it we don't see female sport as being of value? When are we going to get to that point? And talk to me. I mean, do we even have a female football team?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I tell you, I beg to differ, Patricia. Right now,
Yeah.
under 17 women's teams are playing the World Cup in Morocco.
Oh, they are?
Oh, yes, they are.
But I don't know.
You see, that's
How
the
do we
other thing
get
that's-
people to know?
So the other
sorry,
thing
I'm
is-
not everything. So, but I'm sitting here thinking,
Yeah.
if I don't know, and I'm in a communication industry, I'm looking at thinking, what is it we're doing that,
Yes, I think first thing is a lot of things are being done in silos.
Yes.
So we've got all these federations doing amazing things, including hockey.
Yes.
We've got a very strong karate women's team.
Yes.
We've got very accomplished female boxers.
Yes.
But I think it's just down to how they've been packaged and profiled.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one. I think there's a big gap in that space of how do you now celebrate these wins. The other thing that I think is lacking is the enthusiasm of we constituents of the country
Yeah.
to be passionate about the sports itself.
Yeah.
Because what we don't see is we don't see winners outside the track.
Yes.
Everything is within the space, the confined arena.
Yes.
What about outside the arena?
Yeah.
Because I mean, as human beings, we are
When you
like
say the arena, something that doesn't go around a track, is it a sport that?
no, where they play the sport.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the West and very developed markets, these athletes are heroes outside
Yes.
those spaces.
Yes.
They're celebrated 10 times more.
Yes.
But there's a clear effort to bring them to profile them to that level.
Yes. Yes.
So he mentioned a very interesting thing that earlier to go and shop in a normal kiosk and
Yes.
buy. He shouldn't be doing that.
Yes.
Or
even if he does that,
There
there
should
are
be
people
something around
milling
it.
around,
Exactly.
asking him sign
Yes.
here, sign that.
So what
yeah.
we're lacking,
Yeah.
and it's not just in sports,
Yeah.
even in music, where I spend a lot of time.
We don't have a
There's
celebrity
no,
culture.
We don't.
We don't have a
That
celebrity
totally
culture.
has
That-
what
that
is
is
also
true. Yeah.
derailed the glam around success.
Success. Yeah.
Our biggest celebrities are politicians,
No, we're not gonna know that.
right? Because that's
Which
what
is
they
it.
ooze.
That's what they ooze.
They
Yeah.
ooze opulence.
Yes,
Yeah, and they're
opulence and
willing
everything
and they're
else.
able to
Yeah.
showcase
Yes.
success in that space.
I went to an event, and what's his name? Now I'm going blank on the rugby star. He's just retired.
Injera.
Injera.
Yeah.
Now, Injera came into that particular function as a star. He was actually, it was a society, and we all wanted his signature. We all wanted his
Interact with him.
photo
Yeah.
and everything else. So it can happen.
Yeah.
But I just want to throw it to both of you now and just hear your points of view. If you because one of the conversations we said, yes, there's policy, but there's a conversation around money.
Yeah.
If you were given 100 million now, yeah, to support one of the sports that we need to drive, what would you do?
I think I'll selfishly put on my AFCON hat. We've got to profile humble stars and get them to be the biggest stars in Africa. And that's what's going to drive people to watch them in the stadiums.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
How
not
will
much.
you profile them? Because people are going to say Harambe, but they've never won anything. So how are they stars? What do we need to do?
Stars are made, Patricia.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
They're
true.
packaged in a
That's
They're made in a
true.
factory,
Okay,
all right?
okay,
So it's
yeah.
not difficult to
So
profile.
you will make them. You will
Exactly.
make them the stars that we need.
And you make them the stars that people want to come and pay money to watch in a stadium.
Yes.
Whether they win or not.
Yes.
Yes. That's how you develop that's
Make sure they
star
have all
culture.
those bodyguards coming,
Exactly.
bringing them with a little
You have to
squiggly
make
thing
sure,
behind the
because
ears.
I think the society buys they buy the glamour.
The glam, yes.
Yes. And glam is what dictates value in a market
And
like
are you
this.
telling me, Mike, you can't do that now?
Where's the 100 million that you asked you offer? I can do it tomorrow.
what would you do, Jimmy?
And I
What
think,
would you do?
I
Yeah.
think just to echo Mike, where's the 100 million?
Where's the 100 million?
And
Right.
I think one of the key things and I agree, stars are made.
Yes.
And star power sells.
Yes.
A couple of examples. When Cristiano moved to the Saudi Arabian league,
Yes.
how many people knew about the Saudi Arabian league?
Yes.
And as we speak right now, Saudi Arabia is going to host a World Cup.
Yes.
And that is a profile of what a star can bring to a league. And if you look at the ripple effect that it has had on Saudi Arabian football and the infrastructure that now they're creating for the World Cup, plus what is going to come up with the tourism and all that, you have to have star power too.
Yes,
to sell.
To sell it. Yeah.
You talked about soccer in the US.
Yeah.
Major League Soccer.
Yeah.
Until Messi joined Major League Soccer,
Yeah.
all of a sudden Major League Soccer is the in thing.
Yes.
And the big thing. So for Kenya, what how does it look like? If you are to look at rugby, volleyball, whichever sport it is, star power sells. Omanyala as an example sells. But what is the biggest thing and what is the biggest difference that the young generation of stars are doing is also to create their own brands and portfolio. You mentioned Injera, and I think one of the biggest things that Injera, and you look at Ombachi, if Injera and Ombachi did not create brands for themselves out of their sports,
Yeah.
they probably will be forgotten legends in the country as we speak right now, because
Yes.
there are so many
Yeah.
legends of the sports, whether it's
Yeah.
football, whether
Yes.
it's volleyball, whether it's rugby, who've just disappeared.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that the brand power is not
It's not there.
there. So 100 million today received is to create stars. And how do you
Yeah.
create stars? The teams have to be performing well.
Yeah.
Infrastructure development is going on, not at the pace, of course, that we'd want,
Yeah.
but it's going on. But then it's to profile and create stars out of the team. And
So-
for rugby, as an example,
Yeah.
and this year, interesting enough, is a World Cup qualifiers year
Yeah.
for the Kenya 15s or the Kenya
Yes.
Simbas. If Kenya's Simbas can go to the World Cup, this will be a history in the making. It's
Yeah.
because it has never happened.
Yeah.
And of course, with that, then opens up opportunities. These same players are seen at a global stage. You never know where they'll end up playing rugby, and then it creates a tunnel and a ripple effect, because then you start having young players, rugby players in high school and primary schools, then thriving to
wanting to
aspiring
be there, to go
be
there.
So there has to be some sort of an investment
Yeah.
for us to start realizing some of these successes.
So money is key, and money is not necessarily going to come from the government. Money is
Yeah.
going to come also from private sector, because if you look at globally, it's a lot of private sector and brands that tend to support.
Yeah, I think Patricia, government's
yeah.
role is really not to build star, is to create infrastructure and the right environment for the sports to thrive.
Yeah.
And that's what they purposely do. Give us the stadiums and the infrastructure, make the stadiums can actually
Yeah.
hold the numbers, and that's
Yeah.
the work. So I think this comes from private sector. Yeah, and we need partners or sponsors who can see the potential.
So we always say sponsors. I was a sponsor for a while.
Yes.
And, to convince a sponsor at the moment to really support sport, to see what they have to do. Because unfortunately now, everything that you've done, you said, is event-driven. It's an event. Okay, we have Safari Sevens or something like that, so we sponsor that event. We're not sponsoring for the long term. Yeah.
Yes.
So give me a pitch, Mike, in your current role. Imagine I'm this multi-million-dollar potential sponsor.
You are.
Okay, give me. Sell me the pitch as to why I should support Chan,
Okay, first of
and
all,
where I'm going to support. How am I going to get my return on investment? So what are we missing? Yeah.
so right now, I think what you don't have is a full story.
Okay.
What does Chan mean
Yeah.
to you? What does it mean to a country? What does it mean to the world? Yeah, Chan is probably the biggest platform where the next big batch of talent will sprout out of,
Yeah.
and that's globally.
Yes.
We've got sponsors from outside Africa supporting Chan. I've got the likes of TikTok, Juventus, Budweiser don't even exist in Kenya.
Yes.
Coming in to support that brand because they see it.
Yes.
So I think what we also need from people like yourselves
Yes.
is visionary partners.
Yes.
Who feel like, actually, this is a diamond in the rough.
Yes.
If we come in now
Yes.
and tag along for the next 10 years,
But what do they do? What do they tag along by doing?
they tag along for instant wins. How much beer will I sell at the event?
Uh-huh.
What does it mean for me growing with this product and this brand? It's when you have Safari Sevens, how many crates did I sell?
Yes.
If we sold less, crapping.
Yeah.
So I think the metrics of measuring success locally is not the right metrics, if you ask me. It's more
Yes.
based on an instant reward.
Reward,
instant sale.
yeah.
Not growth and affinity and affiliation
Yes.
with the product.
Yes.
Which can be a lot more rewarding, a lot more fruitful than taking it to instant gratification.
So
on the
somebody
spot.
like
Yeah.
TikTok, why would they sponsor AFCON other than the fact, because everybody knows TikTok.
But
I mean,
see,
yeah.
TikTok is a content channel.
Yes.
All right? All these kids film themselves playing football in the backyard and
Yes.
doing all sorts of things with balls.
Yes.
So there's content constantly from that sport.
Yeah.
Constantly. Every
Okay.
5 minutes there's somebody filming themselves
Yeah.
training or doing something. So they've seen the value in that. And saying, aren't all these African kids showcasing themselves and who knows who might see what might be the next thing on TikTok.
Yeah.
So it also becomes a platform for scouts.
Yes.
So if scouts feel like there's a lot of activity on
And then
TikTok.
they get more, they drive more
Exactly.
audience.
So they see it, and they see so far ahead of the game.
Okay, and
all right?
that I think is what we're missing.
Yeah.
That is the link we're missing, because even I sit down and say now, if we're to do bigger and better
Partnerships.
sports marketing and partnerships,
Yeah.
how do we see that vision and the end game? So Jimmy, to you, what's your pitch?
Have I got the money?
Yeah, you sold. And the minute you mentioned big brands, we're also from Africa. We have
Yeah.
that thing of when a big brand is there, you're like, what are they seeing that I'm not seeing?
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then you try and figure out
Yeah. So
what
actually, we're
they're
coming
seeing.
from outward in. So we'll see.
Exactly. Yeah. So Jimmy, all these years you've been battling to get some support for rugby. Give this pitch. What is it we need to do?
Patricia, I think, and I'll say, I was fortunate enough to have been in sports and then to actually work now as Can Group and get to interact with some of the business leaders around how brands work and what they think and all that. And I think, to echo what Mike said, the biggest aspect here is just return on investment. Now, the challenge is that we focus so much on events. We've forgotten the sports teams and the athletes. So let me just give you a small example, and I'll use football as an example. So it's 11 players on the pitch. A team probably has a roster of around 30 or 40 players. Now, if you were to start thinking of all these 40 players as either different brands or people who can sell products or services in one way or another, then there's a win-win situation for both the team as well as the brands. To my early example around our legend Eliud, if you look at the sports team, all these players in a team, they're all consumers in one way or another. So the question would be, in as much as we focus so much on events, can we have longer term partnerships with teams where you, at any one time, you have 40 players, and of course, as the profiles grow, they become bigger. Who are the ones pushing your brand and your products and your services?
Yes.
Because that's one of the ways.
But then what people say, they just say, okay, then I'll put my name on the T-shirt.
Yes, but the name of the T-shirt, it's also tied again down to broadcasting and viewership.
Yes.
Are we broadcasting our leagues? Are we broadcasting our games? So even if you put your name on a T-shirt and that game is not being seen by anyone because clearly you're not filling the stadiums as of yet, then there's no value you're getting. And I think that we need to move away from that old conventional way of thinking because then there's no value to your brand. Now, one of the things around focusing on the sports and sportsmen and athletes, and again, in terms of how to look at the ROI, is that I would say that probably brands need to look at the structures and the strategies and see what is working, what is not. I'll give you an example. If you look at today, a point of sale strategy for marketing or a traditional TV advertising and all that, if you are to compare that with the use of a sports athlete or a person who has a viewership on TikTok of X number of followers, you're probably better stand a chance of putting your money on that as opposed to what you're doing. So if we can have, I think...
So you're saying we take, if it's the team members, because again, the future is digital, the future is platforms like that. So sponsorships have to shift from saying, okay, I've put my name on the T-shirt, so at the events will all have my name. And I'm also going to pay for the stadium to have my name, brand around the stadium. You're saying now we're going to move to having these people become our influencers going forward because they have a following.
And I think the challenge to all of us in the marketing, and I'll say all of us because yes, I'm a lawyer supporting the industry, but I'm in the industry, is that honest discussions around what are your measures of success and how what are the metrics that you're using for ROI. It's all about the eyeballs. If we had our leagues being broadcasted and there's good people out here who are doing a lot of good work on that. So even if you're to brand around a pitch, then people will be seeing it. So then it makes sense and it's fine. But then if there's no visibility on live platforms, then there's no need. But look at it from an eyeball point of view. What is a fun engagement with a certain athlete? Cristiano, and I think the reason why we use Cristiano a lot in sports is he has over 635 million
Followers, yes.
on Instagram alone.
Yes, I've seen
So
that.
at any one point when he does something,
Yeah.
it's you are
Even
assuming,
if you have half.
even if you have a 5% engagement,
Yeah.
it's close to a million.
Yeah.
Remember what happened when he joined the team in Saudi Arabia. All of a sudden, their pages and their viewership then
Yes.
skyrocketed. So
Yes.
there's a correlation between all that, and I think, to Mike's point, investment in sport can only be long term.
Can only be long term.
So you have to look at it from a long-term point of view.
Yeah.
Work with the team. As I'll give you an example, Simbas is going to the World Cup.
Yes.
And they're trying to look for funds. You can imagine working with a team that is not yet at the World Cup,
Yes.
then going into the World Cup, then staying in that space,
Yeah.
and what then that does to your brand. And of course, even aspects to do with brand loyalty.
Yeah.
At times, you cannot really put a figure to it.
So give me, imagine I'm a brand. Tell me how I would sponsor Simba as they go on this journey to the World Cup.
So it's on various areas. So of course, the team has to prepare.
Yeah.
The team has to go for camps.
Yeah.
The team has to be in places where there's good infrastructure to
Yes.
support the training environment and
Yeah.
all that. So what can the brand bring to the team?
Yeah.
Funding those camps and,
Yes.
and progressing with that. South Africa
Yeah.
is probably it's one of the biggest things when it comes to 15s rugby.
Yes.
And the question then would be, are there brands that cut across both countries, whether
Yes.
it's Kenya and South Africa? So
Yeah.
is there a brand that has presence in both countries that can think, okay, can I
I'm
take
sponsoring this and sponsoring these ones as
yeah,
well.
so let me take these guys down to South Africa for benchmarking. It
Yeah.
will probably help them with
Yeah.
their quest. And then, of course, once qualification happens, the rest is history.
Yeah.
So it's sitting down with the teams and at least to understand
What they need to do.
what they need, because
So when they're in that camp, part of the marketing, I'd imagine, is also, given the future now, we live in front of a camera these days for everything we do. In fact, nobody gets surprised anymore when they're walking in a corridor and there are people doing this and there's somebody with a camera and everything else. So I guess for me, what you're saying is, even if you're to sponsor the camp, it's not just giving the money. It's
Yes.
trying to figure out how you communicate across, use that as a content
Yes.
platform for you as a brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that becomes a powerful idea.
Yes.
So you keep asking for return of investment. If I was to sponsor 15s and their camp,
Yep.
where I get my mileage is making sure I'm getting content
Yes.
of them in that and showing that I'm walking with them
Yes.
on the journey.
and
Yeah?
actually potentially, if a team is 40 players, that's actually a group of 40 content
40
creators
content creators
as well.
doing that for you.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to round this conversation that we've had today. And I just want to ask you guys, from a parting shots point of view, we focused on actually two sports because those are the ones you're involved in. And sports is broad, right? It's really broad. We chose those because I guess it's what you guys involve in, it's what we know we have a lot we can do for. There's tons of other sport. Tennis, we started getting onto the global stage. Golf, my passion, is way up there doing whatever it
things,
does, you
yeah.
know. And there's things like swimming where we've started to make a foray. I mean, sports is just so much going on. There's so much that you can do. But what I want to ask you guys now in closing is, having spoken around the things that are slowing down or that are impacting our ability, not just as we sit here as Kenya, but as Africans, to take sport to the next level. I want you to say, if you had the power to shift the way sports is perceived and the impact it can have on us and the impact it could have on the industry, the communication industry and everything else, this is what I would do. So I want each one of you to just close with that conversation. This is what I would do. If I had the power and the means, this is what I would do.
I think for me, it boils down to one thing: is how do you package your stars? Packaging. Packaging costs. It's premeditated. It is planned. It's not random. Yeah. So what we need to do is devise ways where we can actually have, as much as it's saying the Simbas are going into camp. What's the story?
Yeah.
Yeah. We need an agency like WPP's kind of to sit behind these brands and look at them as brands. The same way you work with the brands you are aware of.
Yeah.
For me, these individual brands, they need to be packaged in the same way we package a pack of chips or a bar soap. That's the only way they'll be able to get a chance to profile them and get them to create their pull power. Yeah, and it's the same effort, Patricia. You know what it takes to put up a brand out there.
Yeah.
Our athletes are all brands in their own right.
Yes.
How do we package them?
How do we package them?
Yeah.
So your message, package them.
Packaging.
And you also said they have to become celebrities so they get the following, which is all the stuff that we're saying.
And
around
lastly, they
them.
have to perform,
They have to perform.
which I don't doubt they'll deliver.
That they can.
That they can. That we've locked
We
down.
have no doubt.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Jimmy.
I don't know what to add after what Mike said. Yeah. And I think I agree. Stop ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that maybe I'll speak a bit on policy. Yeah, is that how sports is viewed in this country may need some sort of unlearning to relearn. We have young people coming up. Let me use my 4-year-old and my 8-year-old as a very good example. They spend a lot of time on Roblox these days. And until, was it last year, November, I didn't even understand what Roblox was. And I realized they immerse themselves a lot in the
What is it?
gaming world. So it's I think some good homework there for you and Mike.
Yeah.
And I realized one thing through that. My discussion with them, even on sports, has moved from them wanting to be on the pitch to esports. Can they play FIFA online?
Yes.
Can they play basketball online?
Yes.
So the reality is, technology has caught up with us.
Yes.
And it's a good thing.
Yes,
of course,
a good thing.
obviously.
Well, progress.
But then
yeah.
the challenge is there's so many in-betweens that have been skipped.
Yes.
So we may end up having the young generation taking up more of esports
Yes.
than wanting to go on the field
To be real. Yes.
and play and all that. So
Yeah.
if we can change and make sports, and I think it's a question of packaging, right from the curriculum, that sports can make sense, sports can be something that you can do full time. There is respect for the sports people. These sports athletes
Make a livelihood.
Make a livelihood of it. They interact with everyone in society
Yes.
because they are a son, they are a husband, they are
Yeah.
a child. You know,
Yeah.
one day I was working with a footballer in the streets of Kasarani, and you can see how the Mamamboga to everyone is just calling their name. So they are celebrities in their own right. But if we can package more and take them to the next level, it probably will help our sports industry. And by doing that, then we can leverage from even an economical point of view as a country, and say,
Africa as well,
Yeah, and
because
Africa-
other than South Africa, the rest of Africa and a bit North Africa because of their football.
Exactly. Our population is growing in Africa.
Yeah.
It's not growing, and it's growing at a very fast rate.
Yeah.
Where are we going to take all these young people?
Young
I
people.
think, and that's why there's an intersection between sports, there's an intersection with creatives and arts and all that. So if we can start making sense of some of these and package them for it to make sense, it will probably solve a lot of issues that we're having in our countries and across Africa.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, I think I'd like to say thank you, Jimmy. Thank you so much, Mike. I think I don't even think we've touched.
No.
We've literally just
We're just
touched
starting.
the headlines of what is. But I think it's starting these conversations.
I think,
And-
but just to add on, AFCON is a big deal for Kenya.
Yes,
And I think we need to take advantage of it.
AFCON
It's
in
gonna bring all the
2020,
top sporting
27.
stars in the country. Exactly.
2027.
Yeah.
And I think, Mike, to you and your committee and the board and the people you work with, you have to start now.
We have to.
Yeah. The same way we do elections, we campaign for 5 years. I think you need to start from now on,
Yeah,
really getting AFCON out there, people understanding the impact of it, brands understanding the opportunity that it presents. And I think the point you made for Harambee starts, somebody needs to own them over the next 2 years and see how they can package and walk with them and see what is a benefit from as a country. Yeah.
True.
And eventually driving, I think, for the message for Africa that we can do.
Excellent.
So over to AFCON, Chan first,
Then
then
AFCON.
AFCON. Rugby 15s, World Cup qualifying. Let's all pray this is the year that they do it. I'm very happy about the sevens, at least getting back on track. And to all the other sports that we are fantastic as in, I think today we're focused a lot more in Kenya, but when we look at Africa, soccer is a thing. We need to drive all the other things that we know we can potentially do brilliantly at. Athletics, we know we've owned. And to your point, we've won so often that maybe it has
just like
become
music.
normal. Yeah, so we need to figure out how we continue to have our place in the sun. Thank you.
Thank you.
So with that, I'd like to say thank you very much to the conversation. We've only just touched an iceberg, just the top of the iceberg in terms of this conversation around sports, the sheer opportunity that exists in sports marketing. But beyond that, the sheer opportunity that exists in having an impact on our youth, on our communities, on our societies, and of course, on our industry. Thank you so much to both of you.
Thank you.
Patricia.
Thank you for joining us.
Good.
Yeah.